How do you awaken your third eye? Stay tuned for that answer and more. Welcome back, conscious creators, healers, old souls, and intuitives. For those who don't know, my name is Jay, and I'm from over at the School of Ascension. For those who aren't familiar with the School of Ascension, the School of Ascension is all about healing the past you, acknowledging the current you, and manifesting the new you. Now, today's video is all about how to awaken your third eye. And if you don't know what your third eye is, you're in for a treat, because not only will we talk about how to awaken it, but we'll go very deep in talking about what it is in general. So, if you're new to this channel, be sure you leave a like and make sure you subscribe, because healing and manifesting videos are always the topic. So let's go ahead and get into this video, how to awaken your third eye. So I know we heard a lot of talk about third eyes, and I know you heard that term before, but what exactly is your third eye? So your third eye is your sixth chakra, and it's located right here in the center of your forehead, and this is the home of intuition. It's the home of being able to interact with the world that is unseen, or the world that is non-physical. But why would we ever need to interact with the world that is non-physical? Well, I want you to know something about yourself. And what I want you to know is that you have a desire. You see, have you noticed that you desire things in your life? Don't we all? Like, maybe your desire is to travel the world. Maybe your desire is romances. Maybe your desire is friendships. But either way, you desire something in your life. But to desire something, to want something, means you are wanting something you don't already have. Because if you had it, you wouldn't desire it. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, how can you be connected to something that at the same time don't exist yet? Like, you feel this desire. No one can tell you that you don't desire more money. No one can tell you you don't desire relationships. No one can tell you you don't desire travel. But at the same time, you can't pull your desire out your pocket and say, this is what I want, because it's not here yet. So I want you to realize that the fact that you are desiring something means you are interacting with the world that hasn't came into being yet. You are interacting with the unseen world. Being able to consciously interact with this world and nurture that side of you that is non-physical until it's ready to manifest is how you bring your desires into being. You have to have a strong connection with the unseen world. And this, my friend, is your third eye chakra, your intuition. So how do you awaken this connection to your intuition? What should you do to awaken your connection to your third eye chakra and start connecting with the you that you desire to be? Well, first things first, boundaries. Boundaries is the most important thing that you have to bring into your life. Because once you have a sacred space, that is how manifestations begin to grow. I like to always refer to this as a seed, and it's because it's the best analogy ever. If you plant a seed into the ground, there will be a time period where you can't see that seed. There's a time period where you can't see the stems that is growing, the roots that is growing, and that seed coming up in the ground. But yet you must continue to go and nurture everything you can't see. You must continue to water it. You must continue to put it in the sunlight. You must continue to interact with it as if it is growing. You see, this is how you must interact with yourself. But if you don't have boundaries in your life, if you're constantly overexerting yourself, you don't have energy left over to nurture that side of you that needs it the most. So boundaries is the number one key to starting that sacred space and awakening your third eye chakra. The second thing is balance. Now, boundaries and balance go hand to hand, because without boundaries, you can't have balance, and you can't have balance without boundaries. Like, they go hand to hand. So what does it mean to be in balance? You see, one thing I realized about myself is from a very young age, I was able to not only interact with the physical world, but I was also interacting with the non-physical world at the same time. What does that mean? That means I have the ability to walk in a room and feel what is happening without anybody saying what's happening. It's a gift of mine. And it's not just a gift of mine, but it's a gift of yours. We all have this ability to interact without words, but to interact with our feelings, with our intuitions, and with our nudgings that life is constantly providing for us. But the only way you're going to be able to interact with that non-physical world is if you are not too overexerted in the physical world. Like, think about it. If you're so focused on what's outside of you, you have no attention left to focus on inside of you. And if you're so focused on inside of you have no attention left to focus outside of you. I too had to find this balance in my life. There was once a time in my life where I was so focused on my inward journey that I began to neglect the others around me. And there was a time in my life where I was so focused on those around me that I was neglecting my inward journey. You see, boundaries is the key to establishing this balance, because when you can set solid boundaries in your life, you can tell those around you, okay, it's time for me to go inward. And when you know that you're going too far inward, you can say, okay, set a boundary with yourself. I'm ready to go back out. So boundaries and balance is a key to mastering that inner world. But once you start to find that balance, it's something I want you to do. And the third thing is to be able to connect with your desire. You see, it is important that you connect with the version of you that you desire to be, because your desire is always answering the question that your soul is seeking. Everybody wants to know something. You see, life is causing you to become every single day. The things you go through, the challenges that you face makes you seek a solution. Like when you went through that abusive relationship, now now you're seeking to find a healthy one. When you went through a situation where you didn't have money, now now you're seeking more money in your life. So the things you go through in your life makes you seek an answer elsewhere. But if you're not connected to that desire, you're not connected to your inner seeker, or the you that's trying to discover something new for yourself. So the third thing you want to do is really sit down and find out what it is that you're desiring. What is your soul craving? What is the question that your soul is asking the world to respond to? What are you trying to find? What do you want? Like, what is this thing in your life that you're trying to pull to you? What is the purpose of your existence? What is the purpose of you being where you are? Why have life chosen you to be here and right now? Start to ask yourself those deeper questions to see what is the inward gearing behind my search. What am I looking for? And once you begin to find what you're looking for, you'll be able to find what questions you're asking. And based off the questions you're asking, you'll be able to see how life is responding. And that leads us into the final thing you should do to awaken your third eye chakra. When you start to seek for that answer, when you start to tap into your inner seeker, you'll start to notice that not only do you ask a lot of questions, but your question changes on a daily. Like maybe life will lead you into a certain relationship that makes you ask a question, or maybe life will lead you into a certain situation that makes you ask a question. But every question you ask, life is constantly responding. Like I know for me, recently I was asking questions. These videos that I make, every video that I make, I don't plan them out, but it's based off of questions that I've asked myself. And when I find the answer, I share them online. So every video that I make is just an inward discovery that I'm going on along my journey. The question of how to awaken your intuition was a question that I was desiring to ask, and based off the answer that I received, this video is showing here today. But what I want you to know is, like I said, based off the answer that you receive. So everybody received their answers in different ways, and based off the answers you receive will show you your intuition style. There's four dominant clairs, or ways you can receive your answer, or ways you can receive through your intuition. The first one is called clairvoyance. This is for people who are really visual learners. Like if I ask you to close your eyes right now and picture a red barn, how good are you at visualizing that red barn? Can you see the doors? Can you see the white stripes that barns have? Is there horses in there? How good are you at visualizing and seeing a description inside your mind in picture format? So that would be clairvoyance. The second one is clairsentience, and this is my home base. Clairsentience is a lot about feelings. Um, you're able to feel truth through the feelings. I really can't describe it. It's just based off of feeling, you know what to do next, or based off of feeling, you know what's happening around you. You don't really have to stay long, but you can just feel the situation with your body. That's all I got for you. The third one is claircognizance, and I'm very claircognizance as well. This is where you just know something. This is where you just know things out of the blue. Have you ever been sitting down and something came to you? You say, "Oh, That's what happened. Like the information just downloaded inside of your mind out of nowhere. You're chilling out, maybe you're watching TV, and finally an answer to a question that you've been wondering finally popped into your mind. You see, claircognizance is when you just know things out of the blue. And the final thing is clairaudience. This is a lot with songs. I also receive a lot of messages in clairaudience. I'll find that I'm listening to a song over and over and over again, or a beat or a rhythm. And through that rhythm, through that song, there's a message for you to decode and see how it's making sense in your life. So that's the 4 ways that you can awaken, not only awaken your intuition, but those the 4 steps to awakening your intuition and what it will look like when you do that. If you're looking for how you can heal and manifest change in your life, over at the School of Ascension, we have an absolutely free course. This free course will teach you everything you need to know about healing and manifesting change in your life. And if you're ready to actually start putting this into practice, we even have a live spiritual practice where we sit down 8 times a month and we actually heal and set new intentions in our life live on camera. This way you won't have to learn about how to manifest or how to set intentions, but we'll do it together live, and 8 times a month we'll make sure we're making those manifestation changes. And finally, if you want to go deep into what it means to ascend and what it means to truly awaken that inner you, I also have a School of Ascension course. This answers questions like, how do I heal? How do I manifest? How do I understand painful emotions? And more. So be sure you check that out. It's available for you over on the School of Ascension page, and the link to that will be down in the description. If you guys like this video, be sure you like and be sure you subscribe, because healing and manifestations are the topic. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.